Oh, I think I've got a roller stashed away. That's gonna speed this up. Yeesh. Little foam roller in a baggie here from a few days ago. Yeah. There we go. For wide, we gotta glue up wide surfaces, glue roller. And if you got like a lot of glue to get out, a roller tray also would pair well. But for just this one and done here, we can just dump some glue on. And this is type bond number 2, in case you care. Polyvinyl acrylate, I think, is the chemical technical term. But we don't really care about that kind of thing as woodworkers. We just want something that sticks. Okay, smear that around. Slip that in a baggie. We'll seal that up better after the fact here. Alright. Oh, by the way, hot tip, putting these 40 spindles in here took me like a day and a half, in case you're wondering. Which, like, you know, question one's sanity. I teach high school shop. One of the funnest things to watch, and like a real skill in woodworking, is getting things clamped together. And when you watch students try to glue something up with clamp calls, which are what these boards are, they spread the pressure out so you don't need as many clamps and you get a better glue up. Getting that call underneath, and then your material lined up, and then the call on top, and the clamp all in place and in the right spot, is a real skill. And you just gotta do it a few hundred times over to get swift at it. And it's, I realized that I taught my first year of high school shop this past year, and boy, I didn't appreciate the technique that goes into it until I watched. I said, all right, go ahead and clamp that up, right? You just put the clamp on there, cinch it up, and you're good to go. But it does take some coordination and forethought that I've, we just do it every day, kind of take it for granted. So I got my hand holding that call, and then I hook the clamp onto that call, pulling up. Okay, oh! This is, we're going to do it on this end first. Pull up on that call, and that frees up your left hand. Now you can grab the clamp and the call at the same time. You slide the clamp down, cinch it up. Oh! Air raid. Let's do that again. And then once you get 2 on there, then everything's together and then it gets easy. But getting that first clamp on is always a bit of a challenge. That seam on the end there. I'll peek at that brass down in there. So those calls, clamp pressure starts there and then it spreads out. I believe it's like at a 45-degree angle. So that clamp is effectively clamping a much wider distance or surface area of board than it would if that clamp was just right down on the surface, like this one is. Like this one's only going to have an effective clamping range of like an inch and a half down here. Whereas this one, you got two inches of call here, so that's going to go out 2 inches over here and 2 inches over here. So it reduces the amount of clamps you got to put on. Glue set. Got these 2 pieces of wood sandwiched together. for thickness. I'm going to take the clamps off, and now we're going to do some edge gluing for width. We got the middle piece milled up and planed down to 1.5 inches, and then I also did that for the 2 outer pieces. Edges all joined, and I took my time making sure all the 3 of these boards are perfectly square and straight, and so that allows me to plane them down to nearly my actual final thickness, which is supposed to be 1.5 inches. If you look, this will read, and that's just a little bit over, like a 32nd maybe. So that'll sand down to 1.5 inches after the glue up, because I don't have a wide enough surfacing tool to run. You know, my planer is 15 inches wide. This is going to finish at 18, so I like to plane down those individual boards as close as I dare to the final thickness, and as long as they're square and straight, the glue up should go smoothly so that the seam is nice and flush, and we can put some cauls on there to help out if need be. We've got a dry clamp, so we'll take the clamps off now and put glue on the edges and glue it up. So we'll do that now. Pretty cool, yeah? Pretty cool. Now, when I'm putting these clamps on, because I want these things to come together nice and flush, if you just put a ton of pressure on those boards with that liquid in between them, the glue, that glue is actually ironically slippery right now, and those boards will slip and slide in every direction to try to get out from underneath the pressure of the clamps. So, when you first go to put your clamps on, you want to put like minimum pressure to hold the clamp and everything in place so that you get that first one locked in. Now this is just a touch, well, let's adjust that. Because once you get a couple clamps on, that slipping and sliding will stop occurring, and you can work your way down the board, your glue up, getting things flushed out, and then go back after you've got all the clamps on there loosely. Loose is relative here. And most of this, the glue has started to squeeze out, and the excess has started to squeeze out, and you can go back and then really put the screws to it and tighten it up, and the boards won't move or slip past each other. They'll stay exactly where you want them to. And you can get, on a small scale glue up like this, with just 3 boards, 3 feet long, 18 inches wide. You know, this is a small scale technique. If you had a big table, this wouldn't work as well, to the point of it'd be foolish to try on a big 8-foot tabletop. But on a small scale where I can go back and keep track and manage and rearrange and make adjustments on each end very quickly before the glue starts tacking up, this is a great technique. It saves you time. You don't have to put biscuits or dominoes in. Anyways, We've got it glued up. We'll give you a look. We'll give you a look. Get glue on the camera. There you can see the seams now. Even a tiny amount of squeeze out all the way along. Flush enough to be just orbital sanded out. Got a tiny little gap at the end, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be past the 36-inch mark. Ooh, it's right there. We're going to have to put a little super glue in that little gap there, but nice joints there. Can't stop looking at that. So that will be facing, that artwork there will be looking at the pastor every time, or whoever comes up to read scripture or lead. Be reminded visually of their salvation. And it'll go up on that column there. This column now is finished and ready to go. It's just waiting for the top to get mounted on.